quoting Jordan Peterson now, what you have in the figure of Christ is an actual person who actually lived, plus a myth. And in some sense, Christ is the union of those two things. The problem is, I probably believe that, but I'm amazed at my own belief, and I don't understand it. Well, Bill, what do you think? Is Jesus a union of an actual person in myth?
Well, it's hard to know what Jordan Peterson means by the word myth. One is tempted to have a kind of knee-jerk reaction to this and say, oh, this is old Bultmannian New Testament criticism where the historical Jesus has been overlaid with legend and mythology so that the Gospels are not a reliable account of the life of Jesus. And this perspective has been completely abandoned in contemporary New Testament studies, which has come to see that the proper background for understanding Jesus in the Gospels is not Greco-Roman mythology, but rather first century Palestinian Judaism. Jesus was a Jew. The disciples were all Jews. And it is against the backdrop of Jewish culture, not Greco-Roman paganism, that Jesus is to be properly understood and interpreted. So in that sense, it's just quite mistaken to say that Jesus is a sort of fusion of history with myth. But the interesting thing is that Jordan Peterson says, I probably believe in it. And I'm amazed that I believe in it, but I don't understand it. And that suggests perhaps a more sympathetic interpretation of myth, Kevin. What he might mean by myth here is something like what C.S. Lewis meant, some sort of deep, common meaning that underlies historical events and infuses them with a greater existential significance. And in that sense, one could say that Jesus wasn't just a historical person, but he was the embodiment of, say, the union of the divine and the human. And in this sense, you could say it involved a union of myth and history. So given that he doesn't define his terms, it's not exactly clear what he means, but a sympathetic interpretation, I think, would suggest that this is something that he finds himself believing.
This article continues that he continued on the verge of tears, quoting now, "It's too terrifying a reality to fully believe. I don't even know what would happen to you if you fully believed it." And, you know, Bill, several people have commented on Jordan Peterson tearing up when he's talking about Jesus. I've seen that in social media. He's using words like amazed, and now he's saying terrifying. Yes. Jesus is a terrifying reality.
Yes, again, if I could advert to C.S. Lewis, I love the line in the Chronicles of Narnia where the children ask, well, isn't Aslan a tame lion? And the reply is, oh, no, he's not a tame lion, but he is good. And I love this idea that Jordan Peterson has here. Jesus is a terrifying reality. This is God in the flesh, in all his holiness and awesomeness and his authority that he has upon us. That is terrifying. And if we domesticate Jesus so that we don't fully appreciate that, then we've lost something. So it's remarkable how this apparently non-Christian professor can bring insights to us about who Jesus is.